A couple days ago, musician Cardi B graced YouTube with a video for WAP, the lead single on her yet-to-release second studio album. That same day, some conservative congressional wannabe feigned enough outrage over the work after accidentally hearing it that his pearl clutching made a splash on social media and was reported on by several news outlets, including the LA Times. No idea if his think of the children political pandering triggered the Streisand effect, but as of this recording, Miss B's video has been up for 3 days and it already has well over 50 million views, so definitely didn't hurt. Well, thanks to his performative offense, that video is going to get one more view that it otherwise likely would not have garnered. Mine. Because I only heard of this song thanks to his willfully disingenuous, histrionic, god-bothering bullshit. So, WAP by Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion. I've heard Miss B's name, though prior to this weekend I didn't know what she did, and Miss Stallion I'm afraid I've never heard of. So, what's the song about? Well, with a title like WAP, it sounds like it's about the technical standard for moving data over a wireless network, but here's the song's album art, so probably not? If I had to guess, the song is about sex, and having sex, and liking having sex, and desiring to have more sex, which is a pretty bog-standard theme for music, but well, let's see what Miss B and Miss Stallion bring to the table. So, methinks wet and gushy is a euphemism for a sex-ready vagina. I also thinks that this is a censored version of the song, as there are a lot of sound drops throughout, which is unfortunate because that made the lyrics difficult to understand in places. So, I'll start with the positive. I like a lot of the production design. That pastel-colored hallway with odd angles was visually neat, as was the green and purple room that reminded me of a level from Splatoon. A lot of the costuming was fun. Some of the lyrics were genuinely clever and funny. The one that sticks out in my mind is, if he eats my ass, he's a bottom feeder.
If he ate my ass, he's a bottom feeder.
That's pretty good. There was also something along the lines of macaroni in a pot. It's so wet and gushy.
Macaroni in a pot, that's so wet and gushy.
Again, I get the euphemism, I do, but if you've got macaroni in a pot and it's wet and gushy, something's gone horribly wrong. But maybe I misheard. Actually, hang on a minute. I want to look up the song's lyrics so I can see what was actually said. Ah! So that's what WAP stands for. Yeah, this video is using the radio edit, so Wet and Gushy is the replacement for the song's true refrain, Wet Ass Pussy. WAP. And to be clear, the hyphen's between the first two words, so it's Wet Ass Pussy, not Wet Ass Pussy. Which, now I've got an image of a proctologist spreading someone's cheeks and going, huh, I was expecting an anus. There's another lyric that says, I let him taste it, now he diabetic. Which is an exceedingly clever way to brag about how sweet your genitals are. Well done. The second verse sung by the woman in purple. Sorry, as I said, I'm not familiar with either artist, so I don't know which one's Cardi B and which one's Megan Thee Stallion, but the second verse was rhythmically interesting and had some decent complexity to it that was nice to listen to. And there were kitties. And the last shot of Miss B and Miss Stallion exiting feels disconnected from the video, like it's an outtake where they were just goofing around, but I liked it. Whether it's just a funny outtake or a deliberate shot intended to remind viewers that, as coarse as the lyrics are, sex is a fun, goofy thing that adults shouldn't take so damn seriously. And sadly, that's about all the positives I've got. I don't think the song, musically speaking, is very good. The musical soundscape is nearly empty, consisting of a 3-note bass progression, a simple and repetitive percussion, and a repeating sample that keeps the song's key. With few exceptions, the verses and chorus are simple and boring. Da 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 da. And that's about it. While I like a lot of the production design, most of the choreography was pretty bland. I mean, they hired like 8 backup dancers, and they're not bad, but they don't do anything particularly creative or ambitious or interesting. And what was that bit in the middle of the song where it just stops while some random woman walks down the hall and exits through a side door? I mean, she looks important. The way the sequence is shot clearly communicates, that's right, folks, I'm here. Didn't expect me, did you? Well, now that I'm here, I'm going to leave. Doesn't sing, doesn't dance. In fact, the song stops dead while she's there, then resumes once she's gone. I'm sure that's a known person, and it makes perfect sense if you know who that is. But I don't. So the sequence is just confusing to me. Messaging. I only watched this video due to some weenie whining about how he needed to wash his ears out with holy water after accidentally listening to it. The song is unapologetically sex positive. Like I speculated before I watched the video, it is indeed about sex, liking having sex, and desiring to have more sex. Now, one could argue that the middle of a global pandemic is not the best time to sing the virtues of casual hookups, but one could also argue that the middle of a global pandemic is the perfect time to do so, as it allows a vicarious thrill for horny listeners after months of social distancing. So, messaging-wise, I got no problem with it. Language-wise, well, crooning about the splendiferousness of one's gooey genitals to me is gross, but simultaneously absurd enough to be entertaining. That said, I understand that some might be put off by the specific language used, and hey, they can listen to the radio edit, or just don't listen to the song, or anything from Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not familiar with either artist's oeuvre, but I'd be surprised if this work was unique in language or theme among their outputs, so listeners should probably not be surprised by either when listening to their songs. Now, if Josh Groban dropped this tune, that would be hilarious, but it would also lead more credence to the idea of accidentally hearing a raunchy song with ribald lyrics. So, there you go. That's my honest reaction to WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I can get behind the messaging. I liked a lot of the production design of the video and thought some of the lyrics were clever, but overall, felt the song itself was musically pretty dull. But while I didn't care for the song, at least I'm not feigning outrage over two women of color celebrating their sexual agency with the refrain "wet ass pussy" while simultaneously excusing and carrying water for an old white guy who bragged about sexually assaulting women with the phrase "grab 'em by the pussy." Because anyone doing that is a misogynist, racist asshole.